you mentioned Marvin Gaye, and I was going to ask because especially on your first record, um, you do this kind of well, Marvin Gaye does it. Of course, Marvin Gaye pioneered it, and Slick Rick also did it, where sometimes the narrator, the lead person, sings, but often the background vocal has just as much agency as the singer has. What is your
Yeah.
method of song? Because then I'm wondering, like, are you writing this on paper? Like, okay, well, I'll sing this, and then the background will sing that, and da 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 in
No, we
parentheses.
do it all. We do it all. It's like it's just like, okay, well, the backgrounds, it would be a lot of work because the backgrounds, and I did one project where I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just try to not do any of those backgrounds. I'm gonna just like I just noticed people just only do top line. So I'm gonna just do some top line. Wow, this is way faster getting through a song because the backgrounds are always like really, really important. And so really it's just a matter of not writing anything down or anything, but just like listening and then saying, okay, something. A lot of times the what how you would like bed the lower vocals, the lower tones,
Mm-hmm.
those would be more of the feature. Those would have more movement. So like I like to do like the high one, those will be sustained more like and now, but then underneath it and like that. And then it's like, okay, then we have that in between. And it's like, okay, what can go in the middle of that?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a little something.
Right.
And something like so. Then things are like kind of moving, and we. This is why I say for me the music is like visual, but in a different way. It's like it's movement, like color, and kind of like like it's hard for me to articulate it exactly because it is something that's very visual, but not in a picture, not in a real human being
I
face.
see what you're
It's
saying.
colors. Like if you look at the universe and the galaxy, you're like seeing like swirling. I know it sounds like silly, but or not silly, but I'm not trying to be woo woo about it. It's just that is literally um, how I'm creating. And Rich is similar in when we would do our vocals because we like collaborate really well because we think very similarly when it comes to especially those kinds of background notes. And it might be something. Go ahead.
Then my one question is, how tedious is it if you're doing this live? Like, how hard on you are you on either if you have background singers? Like, how hard
I
on you?
don't.
Like,
Do not sing. Don't do
huh?
it. No, yeah, don't. I don't. I tried that
So,
and I was like, no, 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 no. But
wait,
play it. No, you can't sing it.
wait, literally, wait.
There
Here's
are no
here,
background singers.
literally when I didn't know you, there was a moment. Okay, it's actually one of my favorite albums of yours is the one that you didn't release in the United States. Um,
Because I love
yes,
it.
because I love it. And the intro. Da, 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 da.
Oh,
And the thing was, in my mind, okay, the first song, I would say this is probably how she's going to come out on stage. So this is going to be the intro song that, because it's not a full song. It's like a 2-minute thing. So I was
right.
like, yeah, she's this. But then when I heard the backgrounds, I said, yo, this is really intricate. And then I said to myself, I wonder how hard she is on her background vocals.
So hard they don't exist.
She no, but then I think I actually put in my head, she must be a hard, difficult person to work for because like I don't know one singer that won't
They got
stop the
fired.
world.
No, I'm kidding. I'm not kidding. I'm kind of kidding. I'll tell you the story when you're
No,
done.
but that's the thing. I said, I bet you she's a hard person to work for because like I can't see someone nailing this to perfection to the place where she wants it to be. So I bet you like she just either just insists like Pro Tool all my background vocals, we'll trust that. But I was like, there's no way that someone is doing this live and nailing it because you're tag teaming with yourself in ways it's like a
Yeah.
cat and mouse thing. And I was like, I
Yeah.
don't think this can be recreated on stage. So that's
It really no, it cannot be because everyone's voice is different. And when I was joking when I said, "Oh, they're probably no," and I don't mean that to say no one can sing it like me. It's not
you can
that, although
protect
that
your
is true.
work.
No one's going to sound like yourself. It's just that
Yeah.
it's not going to sound the same, and because one, it's not going to sound the same because it is someone else singing it. But because
Mhm.
again, the backgrounds are not backgrounds. Backgrounds are like a lead. They are like the co-stars of the songs. And I say that in an objective way in that I'm not saying, well, that's me and that's my voice. No, I mean just how they're crafted is that they are very important. They're as important as the lead. They are in a sense their own lead, which and since I'm not in a group, you can't sing that part because you won't sound like me because you don't have my voice. You have your own gift, your own voice, and it's different. And I did try to have background singers
Mhm.
before, and it wasn't that they weren't getting the parts, although they always had to be laid in there anyway, tucked because it would be hard to follow otherwise. But also, it doesn't sound like me to me.
Mhm.
And so when I'm singing, because the song is supposed to sound like this, if
Right.
it's another voice, it was throwing me off and the textures just weren't coming out correctly to me. And I will say I'm a person, I don't enjoy, generally speaking, not all the time. I don't enjoy watching performances when I'm listening to somebody singing their record and there's other people's voices that are there that wasn't there on the record. Personally, I
So
don't
wait,
Mhm.
so then how
enjoy
do you
that.
do a live show in that way, right?
You
So
can Pro Tool it.
The vocals are all mine.
Pro
I
Tool.
pro tool it. We got to the point where we would have background singers miming. They were mouthing, but don't you dare let me hear a thing come out
Dog,
your throat. No, I'm
I love
the
it.
the years of sleep that I've lost knowing, like, literally, I was just like, man, I get like her background parts are too intricate. I can't see her being not pleasant to work for, but I know I've seen people.
and I was never mean about it, by the way, either. When we decided not having any background singers anymore, I was not mean about it. But no, it wasn't their fault.
No,
It was
it's
it
cool,
was
but you can be
it,
serious about how you want stuff, and
yeah, I was just
I
like, oh, this
respect
isn't
that.
gonna work out. And I felt bad actually, because I felt like, oh man, I know that it would have been nice and that feel would have been nice, like as far as
Mm-mm.
personalities go, but it just wouldn't sound right.
Nah, you laid a mousetrap that was not able to be crossed ever. So, but that makes you unique. No, I was going to say now, in the age of K-pop, where and I'm not talking about the K-pop that's sort of thrusted in our faces, like the popular ones, dude. There's like right now in K-pop world, there is, I mean, the level of post New Jack Swing, and they're almost like entering their boom bap era right now. Like at first the New Jack Swing era of K-pop where everything sounded like Teddy Riley and that, like
Mm-hmm.
Jam and Lewis R&B of the late
Mm-hmm.
80s. Now like I'm getting hip to K-pop groups that are using like break beats and whatnot. Have you
Mm-hmm.
ever
Mm-hmm.
have you ever thought of, because you when you were talking about similar voices, like I know like the only difference that I would see between K-pop groups and maybe like in America, I guess the air quote boy band theory is like four members, five members, whereas now we're seeing
20,000.
we're seeing K-pop groups that start at seven.
Yeah.
I've seen one that's like
Right.
11. You know what I mean? And they're doing intricate parts, that sort of thing. Have
Mm-hmm.
you
Mm-hmm.
been approached like, because right now I feel like K-pop is going through their nostalgia 90s R&B period right now. Like, have you been approached to compose songs for any of those groups or?
I know there was some talk about something like that maybe several years ago.
Okay.
Because I did collaborate with a couple of artists um a lot of years ago, like over a decade ago.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then yeah, a couple of artists, and that it was been about that long.
In the
And
K-pop
then there was
world
yeah, and
too.
then I performed with them, and we did things together over there. Um, and then there was talk about possibly doing some kind of like writing, that kind of thing. But
You haven't delved into it.
it could be cool, but there's so much that I want to do creatively, and you realize your time is
I
limited.
get it.
That
Hmm.
I would just do my own thing and put it out, which to me it always made more sense than to go ahead and do what I'm going to create, and then songs that I don't end up using, that kind of thing. Seeing, then shopping those like that, but not actually going in and although I consider that too, like going in and working with someone
Hmm.
or some people like to specifically craft something for them, especially because as an artist, I feel like I can go in and really respect them as an artist and what they want to do and what they don't want to do or sing about, and just
Hmm.
knowing from my own experiences. That's why I really work with like different producers, but I have like the ones that I really work well with. And the thing is that sometimes, even to my own like chagrin, I have to write my own records. Really, the only person who could really write records for me would be Rich, and we can collaborate. We can write them, or like one or two other people. That's it, because no one else is going to actually write a song that's what I want, what I would actually say. Because I've been in sessions where they'd be like, okay, da, 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 and I only went to the sessions because someone at the label wanted me to go. Not no offense to the people who were there, but that wasn't, if I'm going to work with someone, that's why I never really want make people pay me. I think maybe probably people paid me a couple of times for what is it, a feature. But I was
Right.
always like, I'll do a feature. They don't have to pay me, because to me, then I might be in a minority. I feel like there's something a little offensive about uh having to like someone asking someone to pay me for a feature, because I feel like if I'm an artist and I appreciate you and you're like appreciating me, let's create together, let's play together.
Right.
And most of the time you pay somebody, it's going to that label and this, and someone wants fees, but I
So you
don't know.
don't
I
even
just
want
felt a little
you
weird
don't want
about that.
publishing?
No, you get publishing, but I'm talking about, will you do this song with me?
Yeah.
I'll pay you this money to do the song with me.
Ah,
And then
okay.
if you're going to be in the
I
video, I'll pay you more money to do the video. And I kind of feel like
Okay.
if you agree to do the song, the inherent in that is the acceptance of doing the video, if there is one, right? You don't have to pay me, but something
Right.
about it feels a little like too transactional versus
I
two artists
understand.
coming together to create some magic.
Real quick, because we mentioned it, I want to go back to the K-pop question that Amir asked you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Curious, do they understand and accept you also as one of them in that way? And do they see you as an asset because you are a part of them as well? How does that work?
When I did collab, back at that time, they were really like
Hmm.
appreciative, and my mom was with me too. But
Okay.
it was also interesting to see how the system works. It works really differently. Like, artists in the States, they go show up to a thing, perform. Um, the people that are in the doing the background stuff, the show that you go show up for to perform, all that, the producers, all that, they producers of the show, they can tend to be more deferential to the
hmm
artist. Not saying that you want that, but that's just like, they're just like, okay, you're here to do the song. We appreciate you. We're going to do some TV blocking, etc. But they're very differential. It's kind of the opposite way what I was witnessing. Now, for me, it was different. They treated me very well with respect, the people on the TV show, because I'm also an American. I'm coming in, so I'm a guest in more ways than one, when I visited. But I noticed that for the artists who were, and maybe it's different now. This is back in, I forgot what year, but at least 10 years plus, right? I noticed that the artists were deferential to the TV producers. They were the ones doing the extra bow and the extra,
Okay.
and so that was interesting. That was curious to me,
hmm
but it's because it's the way that, and the way I figured it was that their entertainment system, because we created our entertainment system decades and decades and decades and decades, we have so much longer. There was a change out of the old studio system, our old Hollywood studio system, where the actors and stuff probably were very differential to the producers back in the
Yeah.
Marilyn
Yeah.
Monroe, pre-Marilyn Monroe, Lauren Bacall days, right? But it's grown, and artists have learned their power, and it's become a different ecosystem. And so I was like, where they are now is where golden age Hollywood was before. And as it progresses
Hmm.
around the world, the entertainment system progresses, artists will become more knowledgeable of their power and recognize their power, and then those around them who work for them, when the TV shows, the TV producers will understand that around the artist is the sun, and everything else is revolving around them. And
Yeah.
once the artists realize that, the system will change. So it's just that
mm
they're just behind. It's like the the advance of humanity, right? Like and any kind of system. That's where they are, and they're going to be in a different place. And soon it's going to be totally different.